Australia regain Border-Gavaskar Trophy, set up WTC final date with SA Australia 181, Webster 57, Prasad 3-42, Siraj 3-51, and 162 for 4, Khwaja 41, Webster 39, Head 34, Prasad 3-65, beat India 185, Pant 40, Boland 4-31, Stark 3-49, and 157, Pant 61, Boland 6-45, Cummins 3-44, by 6 wickets. Australia regain the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, the silverware that had eluded them for a decade, and confirmed their spot in the World Test Championship, WTC, final alongside South Africa, after finishing off India inside 3 days at the SCG. India's hopes of staying in contention for the WTC final rested on Jasprit Bumrah, but without him those faded away. For someone who had a massive influence on this series, with the most wickets by an Indian bowler on a tour of Australia, it was a shame he couldn't play a part in the final act, though he had still done enough to be the player of the series. After having left the SCG on the second day for scans on his back, Bumrah returned to bat at number 11 on the third day but wasn't fit to bowl. All the early visuals had portended Bumrah's absence. He didn't warm up with the other bowlers and only did a bit of shadow bowling. Then, after becoming the last India batter to be dismissed, for a duck, he didn't take the field at all for India's defence of 161. Given his history of back issues, India had to wrap him in cotton wool. The target was a substantial one for Australia, especially on this spicy SCG surface, but it did appear a whole lot smaller when Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna spread the new ball around. The pair conceded 8 runs via wides and 4 byes down the leg side in the first 2 overs. Though Prasidh tightened up and took 3 wickets, including that of Stephen Smith, Bumrah's absence hung like Coleridge's albatross around India's neck. The batters didn't make it any easier for India's depleted attack. They lost 4 for 16 in 7.5 overs on the third morning to fold for 157. Scott Boland, who might not have played this series had Josh Hazlewood been fit and might not be a certainty for Australia's next test assignment in Sri Lanka, bagged his first 10-wicket haul in professional cricket to hasten India's collapse. Having taken 4 wickets on the opening day at the SCG, Boland added 6 to his tally, his second 5 for in Test cricket since his 6 for 7 on debut, which was just as glorious. Boland had started the day with a maiden and continued to stalk both the edges by hitting a perfect length. He had Siraj caught at first slip and carceled Bumrah in the 40th over to wrap up India's innings. Boland then, fittingly, held the ball aloft and led Australia off the field, with the SCG crowd giving him a rousing reception. His captain Cummins had earlier accounted for Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar. Jadeja had been dropped by Smith in the slips on 6 on day 2, but it cost Australia just 7.